Today I wanted to do a painting that is a blend of two of the styles that I use. I find with my paintings I either have more planned out aspects with sharp lining and obvious kind of segments within it, or I have a really abstract theme with a lot of color blending, and I usually do colors first and add aspects after where I kind of see them naturally. But with this painting, I wanted to try a blend of both of those. So I started off with a few different aspects that I wanted in the painting, some things to kind of center the painting around. But then I left open a lot of blank space to be able to do those large areas of color and do the color blending and some of the more, not planned out, more kind of spontaneous aspects where I see them work. So I'm adding some of those elements, and then saw that I had some blues and red in the corner. So I wanted to put something red up top. And I wanted to, with this main face, add a bit of this yellowy brown color. I thought that would be a good color to separate those two. And when the paint was wet still, I wanted to layer on some of these just to give it more of a texture and make it a little more interesting to look at, other than just one color on its own. I noticed that I was using a lot of the blues and reds, so I wanted to add some purple throughout the painting just to mix it up a little bit. And I thought the purple also looked good close to that brown yellowy color. So I was trying to be a little more thoughtful with the colors that I used. But then I like doing this little design and element. I've used it in the past. I like the little light bulb man. I like having a little piece breaking off to kind of create the face structure. So I had that element planned out, but then had more of a spontaneous one here with that pathway that leads to that kind of triangle head element. I wanted to add some orange because I know I wanted to put purple up here later. I like the way the orange and purple looks. I'm going to use this little cube as kind of a color mix. So I like doing that in my paintings. I like having one area with a bunch of colors in it, kind of all the ones that I'm using. In this eye shape, I wanted to see if I could blend the purple and orange together when the paint was still wet and kind of give it that more blended feel. Then I wanted to add more to this little snake looking thing, and I had a cool idea on something I could have in it, not just being a pattern but almost a little painting or drawing within it. So I'm going to work on that. I want to make this part detailed and have something that people look for and something that it draws the eyes to. I wanted to be more strategic on this painting, not necessarily planning anything too much, but more strategic on where I was placing colors. So sometimes I have it where I'll make an element of a painting and I don't really think the colors through, and then they kind of clash or it's too similar beside each other. So with this one, I wanted to make sure they go well, or then layer a lot of colors on it. So I like when there's larger spots of the same one to do other colors, like in this one with the red and the purple. I find it just is easier for the eyes to look at, and it gives more life to the painting. So I'm going to continue doing that, and I want the goal of this painting to be as full as possible without it looking too busy. So this is how it's looking now. I like how the spacing is and the colors so far. I just need to make sure I don't have similar colors too close to each other. I planned it out a little bit, and if you see all those dots, I kind of dotted where I thought colors would look good, so I can kind of remember that and plan accordingly. Again, the whole point of why I like the painting is I don't like over planning it, so I don't want to be too planned out. Like, I never do full sketches or drawings like that, but I do think planning the colors kind of helps make it easier to look at. So I'm just going back up to this little line area, and I wanted to add some black into there because I thought I had a few, red and blue, and thought the black would look good. Then purple as well, thought it would look good against the red. This purple I don't love there because the purple in the box, so I'm gonna have to do something as well. I'm turning the roof of the house into another little color palette with everything. So now I'm just going in, filling in more of those colors that I had planned out. This part I could not figure out at all. I thought I'd add some red in it to kind of give it a cool color like the other one, but it ended up just blending in too much, so it kind of made an odd color that I went back and added 4 other colors and shades to try to make it interesting, but we'll have to come back to that one. And I just saw this little shape and thought I'd make it into a tree branch looking thing. Thought I'd add some red, and then went back and did some orange. Just needed something to fill that space there and go well with the colors. I like orange and purple, so I kind of saw a face in the brush strokes the way they dried. Thought I'd do a little one, kind of the longer eyes, and added some more orange to the purple up top as well. Saw another shape in there, just thought I'd make it that kind of arrow with a bit of that texture. And then just going in and filling in blue here. I'm going to need to add something in there. I'm just not sure what that'll be yet. Some aspects are more planned out and more detailed, and some are kind of more, they go with the flow just to fill space. And I like to do it where if you see something drying in the brush strokes, sometimes it looks like a shape already. So here in this house, I wanted this one to be layered. I wanted to have more colors than just that yellow. So kind of did circles around the eyes and used that to kind of show that direction. Then here I was wanting to do some type of flame fire thing. Wasn't really working out that much. Then I used the wrong brush for this little point. So I'm going to go back with my marker and add some details there to kind of make it a little more crisp and show what I wanted to do. And then same thing here with just looking in, seeing the shape, and just kind of going with that. So this is how it's looking so far. Pretty happy with it. Finally fixing this corner, and thought I'd go with that kind of fire theme. Again, the way it was drying kind of looked like that. So I just kind of filled that in. At least it gave it something to change up the color a little bit, change up it so your eyes aren't just seeing that color that kind of looks odd there. And I kind of want to go with the space theme up top, so I'm adding these little rocket ship drawings just to fill space and kind of look cool. So just continuing with more here. I still need something else with that blue, and I'm just kind of adding these details as I see the spaces that need them. I like adding some kind of landscapey type things when there's little spaces. I like mountains. It just gives a good little aspect of that nature, and I can kind of theme it to whatever I want. So I was trying to be fun, do a little like Saturn shape, but that didn't work out. But then I was going with ocean waves for this little part and saw right away that will not work. So it kind of looks like eyebrows. I might add some eyes in there after. I'm gonna see how it looks later. But for now, just kind of adding more colors within the other colors just to not be so plain when you look at it. So by now I was almost done the painting, and I was looking at it and saw that there were a few parts that still looked a little bit plain. So I'm just going back in and adding different patterns and things to fill in some of the blank areas. There's some that I just kind of went with little kind of designs to fill it. There's some where I kind of saw there was like a direction of the paint strokes that I just wanted to kind of continue with a pattern or a color. But then this top part, I thought I wanted to do like a little checkerboard pattern. So I just went in, filled that in. It was a little bit blank just with the red there, and I wanted to add something like kind of like a border. And then in here, I had these little ocean wave things that didn't work out, so I thought of making like a little hill, and then I put some trees in it. And then just layering some more colors, and yeah, I'm actually really happy with how this one turned out. I wasn't sure at the beginning. Usually that's how it goes, but the more detail I was adding, the more that the colors were going together, and I was quite happy with it. So here's how it ended. I'm quite happy with it, and I think I like the colors that I used and the detail that I had. I think any more detail, it would have been too busy, but yeah, I'm quite happy with how this one finished. Thank you for watching, and I think in the next video I'm going to try painting with colors that I have never painted with before to try to make a different kind of style of painting.